And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in our beautiful and amazing world. Welcome to Shining the Light on the Community. I have a very wonderful guest today, having a wonderful conversation. Love it, all about living intentionally. But Robbin is joining us today. So thank you for joining us, Robbin. I'm really excited and I'm really honoured that you're here. I really, really am. I love the conversation that we're going to have. So thank you. So let me introduce you a little bit. So Robbin helps people change their perspective on life through mindfulness, intention, and positive thinking, which is really the foundation. And Robbin believes that by honing your powers of perception and by using the tools that are given to implement in someone's daily life, that will help them perform as their greatest self. It's so true. So, Robbin, I said, thank you for joining me today to share your passion, to share your wisdom. Now, what I'd love to do is just start and ask you, tell us about your journey. Tell us about how you got to where you are now.
Well, thank you so much, Sophia, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you so much for allowing me to share my journey on your platform and with this community. So I have not always lived with intention. I have to admit that. I think a lot of us don't realize that we don't, because we're so busy going through our day-to-day life. We're busy with work, we're busy with kids, with home life, that we're not realizing that we have to create awareness for ourselves. And so my journey, before 2020, I have to say, my daily life started with waking up in the morning and getting my kids off to school and going to work, coming home and doing it all over again, like most people.
Yes.
Yes. And so I have to say, in 2020, when the pandemic happened, is where I truly shifted my perspective on life.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it was a terrible time, but I have to say, for me, it was a blessing because it allowed me to go within
Mm-hmm.
myself, within
Mm-hmm.
who I am. And I was a hairdresser for 17 years. And when I want to say about March 17th or 18th, the US, because I live in the US, we went on lockdown. And because I was not an essential worker, I was off of work for about 2 months. And that really allowed me to go within. I no longer had the responsibility of going to work every day, but I did have the responsibility of helping homeschool my children. But with that, I also needed something more. I felt like I needed some more of a purpose. I needed to unfold it. What am I supposed to be doing at this present moment? So with that said, I started going on YouTube and
Yes.
searching yoga and practicing yoga. And what that did, well, let me say before that, I only probably practiced yoga a handful of times. I was not consistent with it. And with me being home, practicing yoga every day, and also involving my children in it, and they also started enjoying it as well, it woke me up. It woke something up inside of me. And moving on from yoga to started looking at guided meditations.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, before 2020, I was doing meditations here and there, but it was mostly at night just to relax my body. And then I would fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But during the pandemic, I started doing these guided meditations at the start of my day. So
Mm-hmm.
I would wake up every morning before getting out of the bed, before starting my day, making my coffee, brushing my teeth. And I would do these guided meditations anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And what I noticed is that it created a stillness within me. It
Mhm.
created something where there can be chaos, because there was chaos going on at that
Mhm.
time in 2020. But we're full of anxiety, we are full of depression, we're a lot of people were by themselves. So it created a stillness within me where it helped me balance myself. And so after that, I continued to be consistent with it, even after going back to work. And that's when I really needed it more so, because I was back into the public eye. I was back into working with my clients. I was back to, to being with other people. And when you're closed off, it's funny, the mind is a tricky thing, because when you're closed off at some for a point in your life, you get used to being that way. Your mind trains itself to be that way, but it's very trainable. So I had to reprogram it. And so meditation helped me reprogram my mind. And so it made me just go within. And so that is my story. And I love to share that with other people, because we all need to go within. We all need to have awareness for ourselves. We need to be aware of how we're thinking, our thoughts, and how we speak to ourselves, be mindful of how we speak to other people and what is going on around us.
Mm, mm. We certainly do, don't we? We don't, you don't realize just how powerful, our thoughts are.
Yeah.
And especially when we verbalize them, it's even more powerful that, that it's a foundation of our life. And we had a panel discussion yesterday, which is all about manifesting and things. And we're sharing how, we manifest all the time through our thoughts.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize that the life that we're living is because of our thoughts.
Yes.
And if you're not living a really happy life, we've got to start with what type of thoughts that we're having, and being mindful of what we're thinking.
Yes.
And
Yes.
stuff.
I
Yes.
totally agree with that. And, it's our thoughts are so powerful, where we don't, like you said, we're not realizing that we're manifesting it. And it might not happen right then and there, or it might not happen hours later or the next day, but it will begin to happen.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Because like you said, just by practicing, just starting off a little bit of meditation, a little bit of things like that your life can change. How long did it take you, roughly, before you noticed that your life was becoming more calmer and, changing?
So I have to say, Sophia, you don't notice it until you're put into a situation. I feel like that's what happened with me. When you're put into a situation where you kind of have to step back and look at yourself, and also look at the other person that you might be talking to that might have frustrated you a little bit, or might have kind of disrupted your inner peace. But you have to step back. And in that situation, that's when I realized, okay, this is working for me.
Because you're not so affected by it
Yes,
and
yes,
things. And in
yes.
your life with your family, and you mentioned that your children were doing yoga and everything else, what are some of the other benefits that you've experienced by practicing, mindfulness and meditation and things?
So with my children, especially my youngest, we're in a time of anxiety, social media. Is
Oh,
so much
yeah.
going on around us. And with practicing mindfulness, I've noticed with myself as well as my children that my anxiety level has gone all the way down. And I noticed where shifting that perspective, once you start doing meditation or just practicing mindfulness, however that might be, and meditation doesn't have to be sitting in a quiet area for 15 minutes. It can be going for a walk into nature. It can just be going for a walk, just going outside. It can be writing. It can be reading. Anything that creates a stillness within yourself, within your soul, and that creates peacefulness. But it helped with my anxiety, and it helped with depression as well, because especially with 2020, where so much was going on, you start to feel these emotions happening. And then you realize these emotions aren't yours. They might also be other people. If you're watching the news, if you're seeing family members or friends, they're talking about their lives. But people don't realize that we take on other people's emotions, and those are not our emotions.
So how do you tell, Robbin, how do you tell the difference between your own emotions and the things that you've got to deal with and everything else, because that does happen, and other people's emotions?
So, for instance, if you receive a phone call, or if you are with a friend, let's say, and they are talking about something that might be negative or something that is not as uplifting to what you feel that might be uplifting. And when that conversation is done and you're left feeling lower vibration, if you're left feeling sadness, if you're left feeling anger or hatred or anything that is not uplifting, then that means that they are leaving you with their emotions.
Totally agree. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, with you moving forward, since the pandemic and everything else, I'm assuming now that you're no longer being a hairdresser and things. And how are you helping people?
Great question. So with the pandemic, as I said, it shifted my perspective. When I went back to work, I started to feel as if I needed to do more. And I want to say last year, I started to realize I am ready for my inner world to align with my outer world. And I said that prayer out loud. I said it to God. I said it to the universe. And be careful what you ask for, right? Because when I said that, everything in my life shifted. I was introduced to someone who has introduced me to someone else, and so on and so forth. And it's like the doors has opened up for me. And so I realized what my next purpose in life is. Because as a young child, I've always wanted to be a hairdresser. And I never knew that I could change what I wanted to do in life. I thought maybe I was stuck. But come last year, I decided I want to help people shift their perspective. I want to become a speaker. I want to help people shift their perspective through mindfulness, through meditation, through intention, and through gratitude. And what I do every night, I write in my gratitude journal. And I write in my gratitude journal with the things that happen throughout that day, that it can be as small as someone giving me a hug, especially from my children, which is a big thing. It could be someone saying thank you or a hello or a smile. And it made me realize that gratitude doesn't only come from this materialistic world. It starts from within us and what's happening within us. And so now I am helping people shift their perspective as well.
So people can work with you personally, one-on-one?
Yes.
Okay.
And I really love to speak online as well, and just on a bigger platform, however it might reach.
Okay, not a problem.
Yes.
Well, hopefully we'll reach quite a few people here, both on the live and the replay, and we will be putting all your links in the comments. as soon as we finish and things like that. So and it's wonderful, Robert. I'd really, I just want to honor you for doing this, because I know for me that meditation and mindfulness has totally changed my life. And I think, if we can get that out there, if we can support you in getting that message out there, even if it's just to one person, because that one person has a huge ripple effect.
Yes.
As you know, with you, when you started to meditate and be mindfulness, how it's helped your whole family. So the ripple effect of helping just one other person is amazing. So just want to take a moment just to honor you for what you do right now, and spreading that and just showing people the difference in your life. And, before you started to meditate and everything, and now. And can I ask you, Robbin, now since, you've been able to bring mindfulness and meditation into your life and everything else, and living intentionally with that, what motivates you to get out of bed now?
Good question. My children, not only my children, but showing them that it's okay to change careers. It's okay to change your life. It's okay to have these thoughts, but know that these thoughts are not you. So what motivates me is just continuing to share that message.
Yes. Yeah, and to continue to spread it out into the world and things. And if you could leave a legacy, well, it could be the same too, but if you could leave a legacy, or can I ask you another question? Very similar. What's a tip that you could leave for the world to make a world a better place?
I like to say, let your gift shine through you, and that's where you shall find, and that's where you shall find your purpose.
I like that. Let your gift shine through you. I really, really like that. Because not many people, first of all, not a lot of people realize what gifts that they have.
Yes.
And how, and how special and how unique they are. But then to let it shine through excuse me, through you is amazing. Wonderful. And now, what does your morning routine look like? I know you said that, that you meditate before you get out of bed, and you do gratitude in the evenings. Is there anything else that you do that helps you in your life, in your mornings and during the day?
So as you mentioned, I do start my day with a 10 to 15 minute meditation, but as well as going for a walk at least 5 days out of the week, so that I can just feel the sun on me. Mm-hmm. And it makes me know that I am staying present. Mm-hmm. It makes me realize I am here. I am alive. I have another day to do what I am here to do. Mm-hmm. So with that said, I make sure I am continuing to be aware and staying present throughout my day.
Yeah, thank you for that. And Robbin, just before we finish, first of all, is there, like I said, we will be putting your links in the comments when we do finish. But is there anything that you'd like to offer, or is there how can all the people watching you connect with you?
So I am on Facebook, Instagram, as Robbin Canzius, as well as I have a podcast on YouTube that I started last year. And I am just interviewing different people from all walks of life who want to share their journey with me. And I am also on Facebook and Instagram as well, known as Conversations with Robbin. So you can find me with Conversations with Robbin on YouTube and social media.
Wonderful. And we will be adding those too. And I look forward to listening to it and tuning into your podcast. And is there any other questions that I could have asked? And how would have you answered?
I think that this was such a great conversation, Sophia. I can't think of anything. You've asked all the great questions, so thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. It has been an honor because, like I said, I really like to chat to people about mindfulness and meditation and spreading that to the world, because it just helps. I think, was it the Dalai Lama or someone said that if every child meditated, then the world, there would be no wars and no, the whole world would change.
Yes.
It does bring about a totally different way of life. So I want to thank you, really, really thank you for coming and joining us today and spreading your message of how does mindfulness and meditation, even like you said, even if it's for 15 minutes in the morning or going for a walk, anything like that can have a big impact on our lives.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sophia.
No problems.